I'm the type of person that always likes to keep things real because that's just my nature. What can I say? And today I want to talk about the top 8 reasons why people love to dine out so much. Let's talk about this when I get back in a minute. Good morning. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City, and I've been saying it just like the old days, but I'm still Jan from New York City. But my channel name is not the same. Save money and more with Jan is the channel name. How you doing today? This morning I was sitting down at home eating my wonderful breakfast. I felt like an egg scramble with little bits of ham in it, and I made it beautifully, and I put it on top of a toasted English muffin. Oh, yum, yum, yum. And I had that with my 25-cent cup of joe. I know. And I'm sitting there thinking, why do many people, rather dine out than sit down for a couple of minutes' time and not make their own breakfast like this? For example, this is just something that crossed my head. I said, you really have to do a specific show and get into the reasons why. Okay. So I figured out 8 reasons why. Okay. These are not in any number of importance. So this is not like the number one reason why or the number two reason why. These are just reasons. But the one at the end, to tell you the truth, I personally think is the biggest reason. But let me preface this before I get into the whole list by saying this. There is no judgment about anyone that has the capability, wants to go out and eat, could, have all their bills are paid, they have money going on, they're good to go. Everything's lined up in a row. Take my hat off to you. You could do it, do it. But here's where I have my little issue. There's my issue. The ones who are like really that fell into the rabbit hole of debt, can't figure things out, the light bills getting threatened to get cut off, and there they sit eating out. I can't, but that's another show. Okay. So no judgment at all whatsoever. Just that certain things I just don't understand. But this is for anybody in general in life. This is my opinion as to the 8 reasons why people love to dine out so much. Number one, it is a positive event. True, it's a positive event. You're going to do something fun. It's positive. It's like, okay, well, yeah, okay, great. Next, me, whomever decides to go, we are temporarily being pampered. What? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially when you go to a sit down restaurant, where, somebody comes up to you and you're ordering your food. You're not standing even at a buffet. You're not standing on a long fast food line, especially like a fancy schmancy dinner experience. You are we are temporarily being pampered. So that's another reason. Next, it's a great excuse to get out of the house. I get it, cabin fever, especially midwinter. People get bored, whatever, like, oh, I'm tired of looking at the same old, same old. So what do? They plan a trip out to eat. Next, socialization, meeting people. True, sometimes people are limited into the people that they get to see on a daily basis. Perhaps maybe they're retired, maybe they can't get around as much as they used to. So people dine out, perhaps meeting other friends at the same location. So it's a form of socialization. Nothing that I'm saying here is a wrong thing. I'm saying that these are the reasons, okay? Next, of course, no dirty dishes to face when one gets back. Yeah, I get it. I get the it factor. I get the it factor. These are all true facts. No dirty dishes to face unless you left a sink full of dirty dishes there before you left the house. That's a different story. Okay. But if you kept up with your normal dishes, you're not going to come home to face dirty dishes after dining out. Okay, great. Next, celebrate a special occasion. Sure, many times people have hallmark birthdays or anniversaries, or whatever the reason, graduations, whatever the occasion is, and they get together and they dine out at restaurants. Okay, so that's another reason. Next, people just don't feel like cooking. They have one of those days, and Who feels like cooking? Today's not the day. Everything went wrong. Somebody misunderstood me. I had a really weird discussion with a coworker. Whatever the reason or excuse, whatever it is, and person rationalizes it and says, something. I just don't feel like cooking. Okay, hey, no judgment here. Just explaining my opinion of the reasons. All right, next. And this to me is the top reason. Out of all the reasons that I said, here is, in my honest opinion, it's beyond the dirty dishes, okay? It's beyond the socialization, and it's beyond it's a positive event to go to. Here's the number one reason in my mind's eye. Get a load of this. Not prepared to cook a meal. Why? Yeah. Let's think about it. They go up to their cupboard, they don't like what they see. They open the freezer, there's nothing in there to take down. No planning ahead whatsoever. Go into the pantry and they're like, same old, or there's nothing in it. Worse still. Again, no judgment. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Number one, the one that says it's a positive event. Okay, now this is not, I'm going to repeat myself. This is not for the person that can easily afford dining out anytime they want, day or night. God bless you. God keep you. This is for the person that struggles, okay? And eating out, dining out, a lot of times really cuts into the budget of a person that's going to easily fall into the rabbit hole of debt, and that could be a disaster, okay? They may be remembering that meal out a year later with interest on the credit card. I'm just saying the truth. I am keeping it real, okay? All right, it's a positive event. What can we do about that? Can we create other positive events that don't cost you anything? Think about that. Think about that. Ask yourself, do you dine out because it's a positive event? Really, not much of another reason, but only that. Can you create a positive event? Maybe shut off the news. That might help. Play some music. That might help. Then you're not going to be as prone. This is my opinion. You could throw it out with the bathwater, but I feel that I'm probably in the right direction. Stay more positive and don't look to going out to dine at a restaurant as the only positive experience in life. There are other positive experiences in life, like a gazillion others that don't cost money. Just saying, just a wakey here. All right, next, you are being temporarily pampered. Let's think about that for a minute. Well, that's totally a possibility. You feel like you do everything. Cut back on the doing everything. Take a minute for yourself that doesn't cost you a nickel. Go take a nice hot bubble bath. What does it cost you? A little soap? Big deal. A little time? Big deal. I'm just going along with the program here. Think about it. Find something that costs you nothing, but it's kind of sort of to remind yourself, yeah, you are important. You really are important. And you could temporarily pamper yourself, okay, in that manner. Next, people want to get out of the house. Well, getting out of the house is just as simple as opening your door. You open the door, you take a walk. Does that mean you have to go eat dinner out to take a walk? Not really. Not really. So it's a form of amusement. Find another form of amusement. Find a different reason to get out of the house, even if it's just to take a walk around the corner a few times. You'll feel better, and that's that. Next, socialization, meeting people. Well, maybe while you're taking that walk around the block, you get to socialize for free and run into different neighbors or an old-time friend from high school. You never know in life. This is a small world. I'm just saying. All right, next, no dishes to do. Well, how many times have I encouraged people to keep a stack of paper dishes around? There are nights you don't feel like doing the dishes. I get it. I'm not saying that that's like a sin or anything if you don't want to do the dishes, but be prepared. I'd rather you spend money on paper plates, disposable plates, and things of that nature. And you don't have to do the dishes, okay? Or you're minimalizing everything you're washing. Next, to celebrate a special occasion. There are a gazillion ways a person can celebrate a special occasion. Dining out is not the only way. So if you're on a tight budget and you run to the dining out idea, dining out today is not cheap. Not that it ever was, but it's really not cheap today. It's really not cheap today. I'm just saying. All right. So figure out a way to celebrate a special occasion. Number seven, don't feel like cooking. Now, this is why I encourage people on those days when they are up to making some batch meals and freezing them, putting them into containers as if you were, doing sort of like a TV dinner style. Hey, I get many days like that. I don't feel like cooking. But guess what? I know I could go to my freezer at any time and take down a prepared meal by myself that I know guaranteed tastes delicious. Take it down, throw it in oven. End of story. Take down from freezer, throw in oven. Hello. Hello. Now, here is the number one reason. And we got to talk about this for a minute. Not prepared to cook a meal. That to me is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's in some cases lazy. There are ways and there are ways that we could get our preps around meals. You don't even have to leave the house. If you want, just order online. If you can't get to the grocery store, that is still way cheaper than if you're broke and keep going out to eat. Do the math. If you ever did the math and realized, not you personally, all of us, you plural, we, if we ever sit down and did the math as to how much extra money goes out the window on dining out, you'd be shocked and amazed in not a good way. But there is one big difference. We're still in control. Never forget, we are still the CEOs of our own kitchens.